And to get an analysis on the rehabilitation works in Azad Kashmir, we are joined by the director of Omar Asghar Khan Foundation, Mrs. Rashida Dohad. Thank you for joining us, Ms. Dohad. Which were the most badly hit areas in Pakistan's north?
Well, this side of the the Hazara was hit. So there was District Abbottabad, Mansehra, Battagram, Kohistan. And then on the other side was the Azad Jammu and Kashmir.
And the United Nations reported that more than 8 million people were directly affected by the tremors. How would you weigh the international response in this regard?
Well, one has to look at the response from a citizen perspective. One looks at what the government did. And the figures speak for themselves. The 4 years have passed. Today is the 4th anniversary. And if you look at ERA's own data, which is the authority that was set up for the earthquake rehabilitation, unfortunately, the pace of rehabilitation is really unacceptable. The work that has been done on housing seems to be their main focus, which it has shown progress. But if you look at other sectors like schools, you look at health facilities, unfortunately their own data shows that despite some picking up of pace in the past year, still the percentage of total completed projects is less than 30%. That really is unacceptable after 4 years. What is also very disappointing is that the targets the ERA has set for itself, you will recall that soon after the earthquake, when the government put together a donor conference, and they had set forward a rehabilitation plan, they had committed to completion in 3 years. And today, at the 4th anniversary, we see that it is less than 50% of the promised completion. This in itself is tragic for the people who were affected by the earthquake, but it also has lessons that one has to draw as we go into rehabilitation in, say, the post-conflict Malakand area. And there has to be a lot of reflection done to see how the earthquake areas can be better served, and then the other areas that require other forms of rehabilitation.
And so far, you would say, which areas have been completely rehabilitated and what more needs to be done in this regard?
Unfortunately, there's nothing like completely rehabilitated. If you look at sectors, there is better progress in housing, because the housing subsidy, one does see that housing subsidy has been disbursed. But if you look at ERA's rehabilitation plan was around specific sectors. So there was housing, there was water, there was education, there was health, there was social protection. And in terms of sectors, unfortunately, apart from housing, there is very little progress that one sees. This is, of course, not to say that nothing has been done, but clearly all the plans that were made, unfortunately, none of them seem to have been completed. So your question about which is an area that has been completely rehabilitated, the answer has to be none.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. That was Ms. Rashida.